Amazingly, nobody was killed. This balloon hit these power lines right above us. It then exploded, but then it kept traveling. In fact, it went right across the street. This tornado was pretty fast and furious. In fact, we've been finding a number of trees every which way. You have to navigate through all of these trees. Everywhere you go around town, there are reward signs for information. They get thousands of views. There are so many similar videos. Who grabbed a can of spray paint over the weekend, went to cars and homes. They did a lot of damage. This is going into their basement, and it's only getting worse.
It's been a battle of technology versus Adam, and Adam, you finally won.
It's a long day, as you can tell. These suspects apparently targeting students at BU with backpacks. Every day, Will, you have ridden your bike to school?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got the seal of approval. Yeah, he's ready for tomorrow. Come on, Will, I'm gonna beat you. All right. Neighbors say that's not all the damage that was done. In fact, he tried to back up, ended up going into the neighbor's home. Look at all of this debris. The fear tonight is this plane has crashed. As word comes in, U.S. officials are now investigating a possible case here of terrorism. It literally lifted this tree up from its roots. Give you an idea, I'm just under 6 feet tall, and it's bigger than I am. In fact, this home right here will have to be taken down tomorrow.
Adam, good morning.
Well, good morning, Dan, from a very snowy Peterborough, New Hampshire. We're talking about a very historic storm here. Kim, surveillance cameras capturing this very brazen crime. The suspect walks in, his face covered. He's got a gun. The clerk right behind the counter. This is the part of town where families were trying to reunite with runners who were in the process of running the marathon. Boylston remains a crime scene tonight. You can see that it's still blocked off. It's been that way ever since Monday afternoon. Tim and Sarah, this is Lee's Trailer Park where that body was found. You can see right here that there's a lot of yellow crime scene tape. Workers here at this animal shelter say there was a trail of evidence pinpointing exactly how this dog was stolen. And Brandon, we know the biker in this case was wearing a helmet just like this when he was struck and killed. Reed, it was like a scene from a movie. The entertainment district here in downtown Springfield shut down. Now, the blast was about a block this way. But my source is telling me right now that no body has been found. They are stressing that no body has been found right now. Authorities, as you can see behind me, they have a lot of this area just roped off. On this 4th of July, the town of Burlington came together. For a little boy too young to understand just how powerful this moment really was.
You could see it in his face. He's happy. And a lot of days he's not.
5-year-old Dougie Davis, an honorary firefighter for the day.
He wants to be a fireman.
Owning the town's parade.
Everybody was on board. Everybody helped out.
Firefighter Paul Cadillac helped bring Dougie's dream to life.
It's an adult dream come true, too, sometimes.
He's a member of Burlington Fire.
He puts his fire gear on, he kind of feels invincible, like nothing can harm him.
One of the guys now and forever.
He's a real hero here. I mean, this kid's going through a whole bunch of stuff with being sick and everything, and he's an inspiration to all of us.
And just look at that smile at the center of the celebration.
It's been really hard to not tell him for a month.
His parents, Angela and Rich, know what today really means. Just 5 years old, already facing an inoperable brain tumor.
Every day is different, but our kids keep us going.
Some days are good, some are bad. Today, unlike any other.
He's not going to stop talking about it.
In Burlington, Adam Harding, 7 News.
Oh boy, there's your feel-good moment for this 4th of July.
Jen and Ryan, this is such an incredible accident. Amazingly, nobody was killed. This balloon hit these power lines right above us. It then exploded, but then it kept traveling. In fact, it went right across the street and right into this man's front yard. He went rushing to help.
Hey, where do you live? Right here in this yard.
At first, nothing seemed wrong, but the hot air balloon just never got high enough.
You shouldn't see anything like that.
Just look how close it is to these power lines, and seconds later...
That was right above my head.
Ron Raymond watched the balloon come crashing down.
The explosions were like 2 grenades going off. The back window's gone.
His car got hit by the blown power lines.
Broken window.
But even he knows it could have been much worse.
I could have been 5-6 feet away from 15,000 volts, and if that thing had hit me, I would have been gone.
6 were on board, 3 suffered serious burns.
I just drifted right over and landed behind the house.
Dennis McDonald went rushing to the victims, panicking.
I came in the house and I got some ice and towels. There were burns, so we just helped them.
All 6 survived, and witnesses are just thankful.
We thought they were gone. Everybody was calling 911, not call 911.
The FAA back at the scene of the crash Sunday. Tonight, still no word on what went wrong.
Yeah, but call 911.
Very lucky nobody was killed.
Simply incredible stuff right there. Again, all 6 on board survived this accident. We know the balloon was leaving from Shrewsbury when it came crashing down here in town. It is registered to a man out of Maine tonight. That is where it is headed back to. We're live in Clinton. Adam Harding, 7 News 19.
The Night Team's Adam Harding joins us with the very latest developments.
All right, Sarah and Ryan, this is a complete mystery. Of the 239 on board, 3 of them, as you said, Americans. Tonight reports that as many as 20 of them all work for the same company based out of Texas. The fear tonight is this plane has crashed. As word comes in, U.S. officials are now investigating a possible case here of terrorism. Family members losing hope as the search intensifies for the missing Boeing 777. Its disappearance this weekend, a complete mystery.
No news, no nothing, so still waiting after how many, more than 12 hours, still no news, so a bit worried.
Off the coast of Vietnam Saturday, searchers found what could be their first clue of trouble, a pair of fuel slicks believed to be from Flight 370. The plane took off from Malaysia, headed for Beijing, but less than 2 hours into the flight, the jet fell off the radar.
Whatever happened was catastrophic and incapacitated the airplane such that the crew couldn't get a mayday call off.
U.S. officials also confirmed to NBC News they're investigating a possible terrorism threat after 2 European men, once believed to be on board, were found safe on the ground. Each reported their passports stolen years ago in Thailand.
To have 2 people traveling on false passports when a plane disappears from radar really gets people's attention, as it should.
We now know the 53-year-old captain logged over 18,000 hours of flying time. The 27-year-old first officer was approaching 3,000 hours of experience.
We are trying to do everything in our powers to find where the plane is.
The 11-year-old plane had just been inspected 2 weeks ago and got the all clear. But in the summer of 2012, it lost the tip of a wing after clipping another plane on the ground in Shanghai. It's all playing into this bizarre and troubling investigation.
That is something that certainly the investigators are going to look at.
The U.S. has deployed a warship to the area the Boeing jet was last seen. Malaysian authorities have sent 15 planes of their own and another 9 ships looking for any signs.
So we are doing everything that we can to ensure that every possible angle in this situation is addressed.
For now, it remains a frustrating mystery for the families of the 239 feared dead. Days later, and still no answers. What happened during Flight 370? Right now at this hour, the search continues. It is now Sunday morning overseas. Still not one piece of concrete evidence that will tell investigators what exactly happened. Adam Harding, 7 News 19.
Adam Harding live in Newtown. More on that.
Amanda, this is the second crime scene. This is where Adam Lanza grew up and where investigators say he shot and killed his mother before going to the school. State police, they are here outside of the home looking for a motive. But people in town will tell you, a motive or not, it does not answer all of their questions. The healing just now beginning.
It's just devastating.
The heartache, the questions still linger. A memorial for the lives lost now growing.
I don't know how we're going to heal from something like this. It's just so tragic. It's tragic.
Investigators are now focused on Nancy Lanza's home, trying to find a motive. Her youngest son, the accused gunman.
Pray for peace. Do I think the gun laws need to be changed? No. It's the person that does the killing, not the gun.
Family members say Nancy was a survivalist, a so-called prepper who had a small collection of guns. Her family knew it.
Self-defense, she lived alone. She was a female, lived alone, lived in a beautiful neighborhood.
7 News has learned federal investigators searched the records of this Danbury shooting range looking for clues. they didn't find any.
Scrutinized every single name signed in for 2012, and there are thousands of them, and they determined that they had not ever been here.
Investigators think he used his mother's arsenal to unleash terror at Sandy Hook Elementary. But why he targeted the school is a mystery. We now know his mother was never a full-time teacher there.
Why did you go to that school?
The husband of a kindergarten teacher who just last year taught half of the 20 children killed is desperately asking why.
It's heart-wrenching. And the next week's going to be really much harder.
We may never have all the answers, but this community is committed to healing together. Family members say Nancy Lanza was a loving mother and would have done anything for her son. Family members also say there were no indications, no warning signs that Adam Lanza could be capable of all of this. Reporting live in Newtown, Connecticut, Adam Harding, 7 News 19. Among the dozens hurt in Monday's blast, Lorraine Gagnon's cousin, who was cheering on the runners.
Nobody knew where she was. Nobody really knew much of anything.
Family members say she lost both of her legs. Her daughter also hurt in the chaos.
We don't know anything about what's going on with her. All we know is that she's in a surgical unit. Celeste seems to think she has something in her leg. That's all Celeste knows.
Mother and daughter are being treated at Boston Medical Center. Family members worry Lorraine's cousin has no idea she's lost her legs.
I'm numb. I'm just numb.
Lorraine's husband, who spent 4 years as an Army medic, ran the 3 miles from Charlestown to the blast site just to help. He had no idea at the time this tragedy would hit so close to home.
It was definitely needed at the time, so I decided I had to go. When I got there, it was just chaotic. People were still trying to get out. The looks of terror on people's faces that I've seen tonight, it's just something that's not going to go away for a while. I'm angry at the fact that this is happening in our backyard. I mean, this is something that you would see in a war zone, not something you'd see here in Boston.
Family members telling me that as horrific as yesterday was, they anticipate today will be even tougher on the family once the victims in the hospital learn exactly how widespread all of the damage is across town. Live in Boston, Adam Harding, 7 News Today, New England.
Adam, you were actually on assignment covering another story in Springfield, so you were there when it happened. So give us your experience. Tell us what it felt like, what you heard.
You know, it was about 5:30, a few minutes before 5:30, and I'm sitting in our satellite truck, and all of a sudden, I just heard this explosion. It sounded like a sonic boom, and I knew it wasn't right next to me, but it was within maybe a mile or two. That's how close I could tell. It was that loud, and I looked at my photographer, Don Nelson, and I said, "Did you hear that? What was that?" It almost sounded like a rocket ship had just, gone right off in front of us. I mean, I don't know how else to explain it other than that. And we were thinking, well, we didn't see anything in the air. And my photographer said it felt like somebody had given you maybe just a gentle push from behind. That's how he described what he felt. I didn't feel anything. It was more of something that I heard. So I called police and I said, are there any reports of an explosion? And at that point, they hadn't heard of it. So everything was sort of developing, and I put it out on Twitter, and all of a sudden everyone was saying, I heard it too, I heard it too. And then lo and behold, we come to the scene here in downtown Springfield, and it was chaos everywhere.
All right, Adam Harding reporting for us, giving us a first-hand experience in Springfield. Adam, thank you very much.